Hello, this lesson today is just going to be a review of what we talked about yesterday when we talked about capacity. Remember when I use the word capacity, I'm talking about measurement. Now, usually when we think about measurement, we think about measuring different things with a ruler. So talking about feet or inches or yards or even miles. But capacity is also a different form of measurement. Remember yesterday we talked about that capacity is measuring liquids. So I'm going to review what we talked about yesterday. I'd like you to have this out because I'll be referring to this a couple times. And then the problems that you're completing today are going to be in this email. So we said that, remember, this is a gallon. And then there's 4 quarts in a gallon. So this is a quart. If I were to fill this up 4 times and put it in here, this would be a gallon. This would fill it up, the quarts up 4 times. So there's 4 quarts in a gallon. We talked about that this is a pint. Now you can buy all of these different things. You probably see these in your grocery store all the time or even around your house. You can kind of look because at the bottom, I don't know if you can see this. It says 1 pint or it says 1 quart on here. And I want you to look at this too. 32 fluid ounces. Remember we talked about fluid ounces equals 1 quart. Or on the bottom of your gallon, it would say the size. So when you're looking at the grocery store or you're at your house looking, notice those things: gallons, quarts, pints, cups, the things that we've been talking about. So this is a pint. And remember, if I fill this up 2 times, it would fill up this quart. So it'd fill it up 1 time then. It'd be all the way filled up. We also talked about cups, which is this. You might have used these. You see these around your house maybe. But if I fill up this twice, it would fill up 1 pint. And then we also talked about something called fluid ounces. And that's like taking a drink of water. And I said, like, if I would take a sip of this, that would be about a fluid ounce if I could drink this in about 8 sips or so. So 8 fluid ounces are in 1 cup. Now, I asked you yesterday to draw this. So if you didn't get to this yet or you missed this lesson, go back and watch yesterday's because I kind of talked about what all of these mean. So the big G, remember, is the gallon. So that's representing all of these things that I've showed you. The Q, so there's 4 quarts in a gallon, and I can see those by those big Q's. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 quarts in a gallon. We talked about pints. That was this. So there's 2 pints in each quart. And we also talked about cups. So this is a cup. And there's 2 cups in each pint. Now I'm going to give you some problems attached to this email. And all you need is this here. You're going to use this picture in order to help you solve those problems. You don't have to do anything else. You don't need these things that I showed you. But you're going to be looking at this to help you. Now, this is a visual picture of everything that I just showed you here. So it's really easy to see exactly how many cups are in a gallon or pints are in a quart or pints are in a gallon or whatever the question is asking you. But I'm going to explain how you can find it. So if my question is, how many cups are in a quart? Find quarts. So a quart would be one of these big Q's. I'm just asking you 1 quart. So even though you have 4 quarts written on here, if I say how many cups are in a quart, so here's a quart. I'm not going to look at anything else on this paper except for one of these quarts. And my question is how many cups are inside of it? Well, cups are those C's that are in the middle here. So I'm going to count all of the cups that are inside just that 1 quart. I didn't say how many cups are in 4 quarts. I'm asking how many cups are in 1 quart. Here's 1 quart. Count the amount of cups. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm counting those C's. So then you would put 4 cups in a quart. And you'll see those problems below this link when you answer the questions. Some of these might be repeated, so I hope you're listening because some of these might be on the questions I have for you. Or I might say, if I have 2 quarts, so here are 2 quarts now, how many pints would that be? So think about what I'm asking you. I'm asking you about 2 quarts. Here's a quart, here's a quart. How many pints are in 2 quarts? I'm not asking you about the whole thing. Count the pints. Pints are the P. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Or I might say, if I have 2 pints, how many cups would that be? So here are pints. I'm only asking you about 2 of them. How many cups would that be? Now I'm going to try to throw some like tricky ones in there because I like to see if you can kind of think outside the box and understand this a little bit better. So I might use fractions too and say, if I have half of a gallon, I'm going to give you a hint for this one. If I have half of a gallon, how many quarts do I have? So in a full gallon, I have 4 quarts, but I'm asking you about half of them. So you have to think to yourself first, if there are 4 quarts, what's half of 4? So if I have 4 quarts, half of 4 would be what? It would be 2. So think about if I cut this in half, I would only have 2 quarts. And then if I say how many quarts are in a half gallon, it would be 2. So I'm going to be asking you questions. This is what you're going to be doing for your homework. And all you need to do is look at this picture. So I hope you understand how to use this. If you don't, you can rewatch this, or you can ask me questions just through email. Thank you.